Last week on Pokemon Cooked League. Bruno's hit program kept his best for last with Iron Boulder, which cleaned up Lando T's dating simulator, while the Heatran and Justice mascot wiped the floor of Gen 7 with the Flash Fire boosted Heatran. Both these trainers are on the bubble at 3 and 2. Who's going to shoot themselves off the standing while dragging the other person down? Welcome to the final match of Week 6. We have the Heatran of Justice versus Bruno's hit program. Now, the first one that I think is going to be really powerful I can see is the Ogerpar Heartflame. The fire ground coverage is just kind of ridiculous in the team. Like, I don't know if you're gonna fit fire, like if you're gonna do fire, ground, and grass as your 3 attack boost, and you just have Spiky Shield and no Follow Me. But for your 3 attacks, man, like fire hits the Chien-Pao, the Shiftry, the Whimsicott, and because of Mold Breaker, you don't have to worry about Flash Fire from the Heatran, which is also nice. So that's some good neutral damage. And then the ground obviously hits the Alolan Muck and the Heatran, and then the grass can hit the Palafin. Like, and because it's so fast, and another good thing about it, side benefit, is that it doesn't take that much damage, as much damage from knockoff, because with the item it doesn't get knocked off. So knockoff is only 65 base power instead of the 97-ish, so that's really nice. Let's see, and I also think the Iron Boulder could be nice here. The rock typing definitely has some, like, its typing's alright. It definitely has some good or bad things, but the reason why I'm interested in, I think, its potential performance is that with the booster speed, it can outspeed some of the more mediocre. You might be able to outspeed some of the mediocre speed mons in Tailwind. Like, if this is like a Heatran that's not speed invested, it could outspeed that. It also just naturally outspeeds Chien-Pao, which is really nice. And then on the other side, what I think is going to be powerful here, I think the Alolan Muck might be nice here. With the Alolan Muck, Dark Poison Stab is actually pretty annoying for the other side here. The Iron Boulder obviously doesn't like dark type attacks. The Ogerpon hates poison type attacks, and just be able to be just annoying, disruptive, and fish for poisons here could be pretty nice here. It's got some alright bulk to it as well. And definitely has some tricks up its sleeve with coverage moves. And for leads, every time I see a Whimsicott, I imagine that's going to be part of the lead. Like, it's just going to be like, and then, but the thing with Palafin is you also want to get the Palafin switched in and out as much as possible. So there's definitely a lot of mons that want to be led here that you're going to have to make some sacrifices to if you are or not going to lead if you are the Heatran of Justice here. Because obviously thing like the Tailwind plus Wind Rider is great, and like maybe a potential Tailwind Eruption. We haven't seen that yet this season. And then just like, obviously the Palafin just wants to get in and out, just maximize the chances to actually be effective here. And on the other side, I think the Grafaiai is going to be part of this lead here. Just has a way to... The poison typing is really good against the Whimsicott here. Quad super effective poison move can definitely OHKO the Whimsicott. It also helps against the Shiftry, the poison typing, with a super effective poison type move is also good. And also just like potential encore. You can encore. Fortunately, you don't outspeed Whimsicott here, which is a pretty big bummer if you are Bruno's hit program, but let's get this started. Okay, we see the Grafaiai and the Alolan Persian here. The Alolan Persian, I'm a little surprised to be part of the lead here. Just on the fact that I thought Whimsicott was such an obvious lead here, and I felt like now you're gonna... I guess with the Grafaiai kind of covers up the Alolan Persian because you no longer have to deal with like the Whimsicott has to make the choice like whether to click something like Tailwind or a status move before the Grafaiai gets to, and then the Grafaiai can knock it out. But then and the Whimsicott wants to do that, and the Persian's actually safe here because it doesn't want Whimsicott can't click Moonblast. But if the Whimsicott does click Moonblast, then you're not getting hit by some prankster shenanigans, which is nice. So it also has Fake Out, so we might be able to see that. Maybe we see like a double up here. I imagine this. If I'm this Palafin, I'm hard switching out. I don't. If you have flip turn, I don't think it's worth clicking here because you might just get like fake out trapped with the and then like you're spending another turn floundering and if you somehow get doubled up and somehow the Whimsicott just gets ignored, that would be a disaster. You just lose so much HP on that mon. I don't think that's going to happen, but I don't think the risk of like some flip turn chip is worth it. All right, so this is a pretty good mid ground here, I think, from this side. Called out that he was too scared of the poison jab and got the poison jab to not have to protect with the Persian here. So was able to get that call right. And Persian's just faster, right? Yeah, Persian is just faster than the... And now and because you got the paralysis on the Heatran, if you click Tailwind with if you are the Heatran of Justice, you're not going to be able... You're probably not speeding either of these two mons, so the Eruption is still going to be pretty decent here, because just on the fact that these mons aren't that physically threatening to the Heatran, so it's still going to have decent base power, but it's definitely nothing... It's definitely not going to be the full power, just 4 turns of the Behemoth here. And then, if you are Whimsicott here, like, what do? Like, you can Encore the... Well, no, you can't Encore. You can't Encore the Alolan Persian because it's Dark type, so you can't do that. You can Moonblast it to try to knock it out. And just accept that you're either going to be broke as a Sash or just get straight up KO'd. Which I guess isn't... Maybe you don't need this Whimsicott as much as you thought you did. But yeah, then like... So, like, you can Moonblast a Persian, maybe knock it out, and then you just trade, and maybe you can get the Eruption on the Magmortar, but again, I mean, this Heatran. But then, what's your future? The Heatran, it's bulky enough, so, like, doesn't need to speed as much if you are clicking around, because it definitely just has other moves, like, Earth Power and, like, Flash Cannon, or even other moves, but, yeah, it's definitely kind of awkward if your thing was to click Eruption a bunch. Oh my gosh. He did the thing. He tried to prankster the Dark type. And that's a pretty big mistake here. And not only that, I'm kind of surprised the Grafai switched out. Maybe... Not really sure what the expected call there was. But he was able to get just pip out the Grafai back in and out super safely. And what makes this even worse is that he got the Tauros in safely. And now the Heatran's in trouble from a big fighting type attack. And the Tauros should be bulky enough to live a Moonblast. But Whimsicott Moonblast is a very powerful move, but I think the Tauros could live at least one. Because Whimsicott is just not that threatening physically. I mean, just threatening with damage-wise. And then this Heatran's in a whole lot of trouble here. Oh, that's a big poison. And because of the poison, the Whimsicott goes down here. I'm kind of surprised we saw high horsepower and not close combat. I guess he didn't want to drop his defenses, but you are risking a miss and like potential ground resist berry. You're also, I guess you could say you're also like playing around a Cussed Up berry, not Cussed Up, Chopple berry, but you definitely missed out a decent amount of chip damage on the Palafin here. Would have done over twice as much, but your Tauros is a bit healthier, which is nice. And now you have 3 turns to really make do with this Tailwind as much as possible here. And if you don't, I think you're probably going to lose this game. The mons in the back are just too fast and threatening, I think, to be able to get like the clean sweep here. We're going to get the Wind Rider boost on the Shiftry here. And the fact that the Poison Jab didn't KO... Grafai is not a strong Pokemon to begin with, but I'm wondering if this Grafai is like a whole bunch of bulk invested to try to live on 1 or 2 hits more than it should. So if he could live an extra hit and get another poison jab off, get some extra chip, that could be good. But I'd probably I wouldn't mind just double protecting here if both your mons do have protect here, just to stall another turn of Tailwind, get some information on what he wants to do. Because I don't think these mons are going to be trying to set up this turn. I can't imagine they're setting up here. They could. They have set up moves like Sword Stance and Bulk Up, but I highly doubt that that's what's going to be clicked here. And if they do, you can just, what's it called, prankster them. Woodcraft does get the KO here. And we do see that the item is, in fact, Life Orb. So you're chipping yourself down pretty quickly. Let's see. We do have another Dark type. So you cannot Prankster this into... and you can't Encore into Fake Out here. And surely he won't make that mistake because he just saw that same mistake being made. But you can get in your own... Prankster Mon if you want to, Fake Out Mon, and just do it right back, which I'm a big fan of here. Because of the extra Fake Out chip, I wonder if the +1 knockoff actually KOs the... If the +1 knockoff is able to KO the Grafai here. That's a decent amount of chip you did. I mean, 29% is a... Let's see... That's a 40 power base move versus a 97. Like, it's like, let's say 100. And it's like 145 power. So, it's like over 3 times as strong. So, I think it should be able to KO here, the knockoff. So, that's pretty big. And I am wondering when this item, Grafai, is even holding here. If it's like some type... It's not some... It could be like Citrus Berry or something. I don't know. But I expect another Fake Out, some Fake Out shenanigans to stall a little bit more. Oh my, dude, I did not just see that. You had a chance to learn. And you did the thing. Oh my gosh. Well, hopefully he realizes this for his sake, and you can Encore the Palafin this time to protect, because also the Palafin is just the scarier. I mean, this turn, the Palafin is just a scarier mon. It's just stronger, and the Persian just is okay with eating any dark type moves from the shift tree. And once the Palafin gets down, you're starting to run out of big boy options to do damage here. That has to matter. And I'd say Persian is so bulky that I'll eat that for free. We're not, okay. I'm just so surprised that we're, like, not regarding this Palafin at all. You had a chance to kill it, and you just decide not to. Or at least Encore it. Like, why are you so scared of... I don't think the shift tree is that scary. Like, the Ogre Pawn can just, like... Just easy Ivy Cudgel murder this thing. Does a knockoff KO the Palafin here? Maybe. I don't know. We're going to send in Raikou instead, and that's going to have to eat another big Jet Punch. Because you didn't KO it. And the Raikou is just not offensively threatening here, like, to the shift tree. Like, I feel like you're just burning through resources when you don't have to. You can parting shot the, one of these mons. Probably the parting shot the shift tree here, if you want to. And it is going to hit a bit less hard. Well, it's not even Life Orb, it's Clear Amulet, and you don't have any... The Intimidate mon's over, so, like, the knockoff just got you so little here. Expert Belt, okay. And because you didn't... Because you don't have the Ogre Pawn, and now the Heatran gets in so much safer here. And now the Heatran might actually be able to do things when it was just going to get... Probably going to get murdered by something. We're going to get the parting shot here, and finally get this Ogre Pawn in, which I was begging for this to happen. Okay. Okay, I did forget Raikou gets Aura Sphere, so... I do apologize on that matter. And I'm just kind of... I know Shift Tree's frail, but man, this doesn't hit that hard, Raikou. But let's see what this... Oh, and it's a full para. That's pretty rough here. Okay, the Alolan Muck comes in. And if this Ogerpon has Stomping Tantrum as one of its moves, I think this Ogerpon is just gonna start running away with the game. And I'm probably just doubling the Muck here. I don't want to try to KO it. I think that's way more scary than Heatran at this point. You have the Iron Boulder in the back to deal with it with probably fighting type coverage. And it's also -1 in both of its attack stats. You knocked off its item. I don't want this Ogre. I want this Ogerpon healthy, so I think the best way to do that is to double in this Muck here if you can KO it. Okay, that makes me think there is no Stomping Tantrum. Toxic. Okay, we're just being. Oh, another full paralysis. That's bad. And we see Toxic instead of Poison Jab here. Makes me think that the Muck doesn't have Poison Jab at all, because a super effective stab move looks pretty good here into almost the entire field. It's not great against an Iron Boulder, I guess, but puts this Persian on a bit of a timer here. And now I'm way more scared of this Muck here. I want to double it. I mean, I guess you could you could fake it out, which I guess does something, but then you're at a spot where you're just kind of toxic damaging yourself. You double it. You could I don't mind fake out plus Thunderbolt as your double turn. And again, I'm not scared of this Heatran. I think you have your monster bulky enough to survive -1 moves on this Mon from this Mon. Okay, we are going to decide to take out this Heatran here. Because the Raikou does have a fighting coverage, I guess it does feel pretty comfortable against the Chien-Pao here. So I'm actually okay with this. And is it going to be the Palafin or the Chien-Pao? It's going to be the Chien-Pao. I just don't. The Chien-Pao can protect, which is definitely a thing to worry about. But I don't know. I'm not too scared about that. I want to just keep on. I might want to double. I think I'm doubling this Chien-Pao slot, truthfully. Even though the Muck just protected, I think just getting the Chien-Pao is just. If you get the Chien-Pao Ogerpon, and we'll just win the game. And Ogerpon and Iron Boulder in the back will just win the game. We see a Crunch instead of Knockoff. It's a Dark type move of choice. I guess that's a little interesting here. I guess it does better against Iron Boulder. I guess that makes sense here. But yeah, I think this is also a good play. I think this is actually a bit better. You remove the Focus Sash, which is good. Or well, its time was Boots, but you moved just in case it was Sash. You got rid of it, which is good. And then you can send in something to help finish the game off. And are you gonna send the? Is it better for the Iron Bolt or the Ogerpon to come out? I would be very once again. I'm very surprised that this is a Poison Jab. But what other move could be? Problem with the Iron Boulder is, of course, you get Sucker Punched. But you could protect the Iron Boulder and then just Aura Spear the Raikou, which I think is a pretty decent play here. We're gonna set it Ogerpon. You don't have to worry about any Dark type move on either side. You could just Ivy Cudgel the Chien-Pao, Thunderbolt the Raikou, the Muck, and you should probably be fine for the rest of the game. Keep doing that. Okay, successfully called out the Protect, and see Discharge here. Kind of interesting because there is no ground types on your side, so I'm guessing your last move is just T-Bolt or Volt Switch here. Wow, you're sacking the Ogerpon? What? Okay. I don't know if that's a good play. Wasn't that... I feel like you won the game if you just kept attacking with the Ogerpon. Now the Palafin comes out, and now it threatens a big boy Jet Punch. And now you have to play these Protect Mind games. I guess you could, Protect Discharge. And since it's Life Orb, after 2 hits, it's gonna knock itself out. And if it, like, Wave Crashes, the Palace knocks itself out. Its Quick Drive boosts your speed, which makes it so I don't think this Muck gets KO'd by just 1 rock type attack. So that's a little scary as well. Yeah, we are gonna do this. Okay, ends up getting the call right here. And getting this call right here, I should win the game here. The Muck will not be able to win a 2v1. But man, I felt like this didn't have to be so scary. Yeah, it's able to live 1. Oh my gosh, this is okay. That is the tech. Okay, good to know. Good to know. But yeah, I felt like that was that was just a pretty sloppy game in my opinion. One prankster dark type, and then another one attempted. And again, with this Ogerpon, I felt like keeping this Ogerpon alive was your key to winning. You were able to get the call right at the end, so kudos to you on that. But yeah, anyways, no matter how you get there, you did in fact get there. You are now 4-2. I think that guarantees a spot in the playoffs for. Don't quote me. That guarantees a spot in the playoffs for Bruno's HIIT program. And for the Heatran of Justice, you're at 3-3. You play me next week. So if you want to make it, you probably have to beat me. So good luck to him on that. But maybe 3-4 somehow gets there if he gets some really lucky things going on. But I'm not really sure. But congrats to Bruno's HIIT program, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.